Okay guys, I'll admit it, few news stories from the roller coaster world has made me as disappointed as this one. On Monday, January 30th, 2023, Galaxyland, located in the West Edmonton Mall in Canada, announced that their massive Schwarzkopf coaster Mindbender would be closing permanently. Like many of you, I never got the chance to ride Mindbender. It's not like when King's Dominion announced Volcano was closing, which absolutely did suck, but I did get on it back in its final year of operation. Unfortunately, I'll never be able to say the same about Mindbender because I was too late to plan a trip up to Canada to ride it. For those of you who don't know, following the long closures of theme parks and water parks during COVID, Mindbender only operated for a few months before falling into a standing but not operating state. No one had a clue that it would just have a few months of life left. Something doesn't add up here. Now, I don't know the exact reasons why it would have become standing but not operating, but I can speculate. Mindbender will be closing after 37 years of operation, as the ride originally opened in 1985. That's a long time ago, and so I think it would be fair to assume that the coaster reached the end of its service life. We've seen this happen before with rides like Vortex at Kings Island, where the cost to keep it wouldn't have outweighed the low ridership. We've also seen it happen to rides like Hulk at Islands of Adventure, and more recently, Nemesis at Alton Towers, where full retrackings were the only way to ensure they'd be around for years to come. You can see the significance in rides like Hulk and Nemesis versus something like Vortex. Kings Island has so many roller coasters that closing Vortex wasn't that big of a deal for them, especially because they'd be opening Orion, a Giga coaster, just a year later. Hulk and Nemesis are icons of either park respectively. I think Mindbender at Galaxyland slides right in with those rides in that regard, as not just one of the park's most iconic attractions, but by far the most famous and popular one. That's why it just blows my mind that they didn't find some sort of resolution to keep it in operation, even if it were just a few years longer. At least give people a time period where they can ride it one last time. Mindbender isn't some ride that you close permanently and get on with your day and forget about it. This was one of the largest and most monumental Schwarzkopf rides ever built. When it opened, it was the biggest indoor coaster by far, and to this day I think you could still make that argument. The park even had to raise the roof level in order to facilitate the 145-foot tall lift hill. So that leads me to my next point, and probably the thing I'm most upset with. Galaxyland has said that they're working on rides to take its place, but that they will be family focused. In recent years, the park has shifted over to Hasbro theming, which of course is more geared towards children. And Galaxyland, wanting to cater more to that audience, needs to be selective about which of their thrill rides they want to keep and where they can build new small attractions. In my opinion, it's such a blow that after the park takes out Mindbender, they won't be replacing it with another thrilling roller coaster. That extra tall ceiling over some low-rise family flat rides, what a waste of space. I feel like the least they could have done is replace it with something else that can draw in the thrill seekers and coaster enthusiasts. After this, there will be no major roller coaster anywhere in the province of Alberta. Your next best bet will be to drive to Playland in Vancouver or crossing the border to get to Silverwood in Idaho. That literally takes forever for a coaster enthusiast near Edmonton to get to by car. And after filling in the space with kiddie rides, there won't be any going back to adding a thrill coaster because Galaxyland, being an indoor park that is super tight on space, won't have the room. Heck, Mindbender takes up like a third of the park's area. With no major roller coaster at the park, it pains me to say that I'll probably never get to visit Galaxyland at any point in my life. It's just no longer going to be worth it for a roller coaster enthusiast to travel all the way out here anymore. So in conclusion, while I think removing Mindbender was a terrible decision in itself, I think replacing it with family rides is even worse. I apologize to all my coaster fans living in Alberta or who grew up riding Mindbender. This is such a huge loss to the coaster world, and it'll be missed by those who got the chance to experience it. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video. Please, if you've ridden Mindbender, let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and feel free to share some stories you had with the ride. Also, please do me the favor of liking this video and subscribe to Coaster Dash for more news updates in the future, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.